In Module 4, I am going to cover different topics, for example, minimizing resistance to change, OD interventions, OD is organizational development interventions, need for OD intervention, steps for OD intervention techniques, managing role stress, roles and functions of change agent, effective change programs, client and consultant relationships, classical skills for leaders. So these list of topics we are going to discuss in Module 4. Let's start with the topic minimizing resistance to change. So there is a statement I would like to quote here that oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear. And the oldest and strongest kind of fear is fear of the unknown. So when a change comes, we fear, but what that fear is about, we don't know. This fear is unknown. So yes, we got in fear, but we don't know what is that fear. Maybe we think that this change may alter our life, so that is the fear of bringing that change, and that is the reason we are resist to that change. So here we are going to discuss some of the strategies that is designed to minimize resistance to change. So we'll start with the honest and frequent communication is one of the, I can say, a step, a small step where we can minimize the resistance to change, where a top management people can regularly communicate with the employees of the organization and tell them that we are going to bring a change and how we are going to implement that change in the organization. So this is one of the way through which we can minimize the resistance of change that is going to happen in the organization with the honest and frequent communication providing to the employees. Second step here is continuous action learning. So learning is an important process in the change initiative because employees need new knowledge and skills to expertise themselves. How they will bring this change until unless they are not trained for that, they cannot bring that change. So we want our employees to go with the continuous learning so that they can learn new skills and can easily adapt the change. Third step to minimize the resistance of change is to involve the employees in this change program. So employees have to be involved in the change process because by doing that, they will personally feel responsible for the success of the change effort, and they will be happily they will embrace this change because you are taking them, because top management are taking them in that confident that you are the part of this change. So they will feel as a responsible person for that change and they will be involved in this program. So we can say that involving employees in the change program can minimize the resistance to change. Next is introducing the stress management, because when a when a change is introduced in the organization, what happens, that stress naturally come to the employees. They get stressed, they will not come to the office, they will not regularly come to the office, so absentees will grow up, so there will be a lot of stress felt by the company's employees after the change effort. So it is a stressful experience, but it threatens self-esteem and creates uncertainty about the future. So here the top management, or we can say the HR department, should introduce the stress management so that employees can learn some ways where they can reduce this stress that has come because of the change effort. Next step to minimize the resistance is negotiate with the employees. So what top management can do? Top management can promise the future benefits to the employees, which may help the employees to not to resist this change. Next step is practice soft coercion techniques. So this practice soft coercion techniques means, or we can say it includes persistently reminding the employees of their obligations, frequently monitoring behavior to ensure compliance, and confronting employees who resist change. And the last step to minimize the resistance to change can be counseling. So counseling or discussion is always a good thing where you can discuss with the employees that what kind of change, how this change is going to impact in the organization. So counseling in one-to-one session, when we counsel the employees, they can get an idea of this change and they will avoid resisting this change. Our next topic of this module 4 is OD interventions. OD means organizational development interventions to overcome the resistance to the change. So, what is this intervention? Intervention refers to a set of sequenced, planned actions or events that help an organization to increase its effectiveness. So interventions is actually the structured activities used individually or in combination by change agent to improve the task performance. So we can say that structured activities means questionnaires that are given to the employees, prepared by the change agent to know the feedback of that change, attitude surveys, interviews, meetings or group discussions. So these all are the structured activities that may be organized by the change agent in the organization. That is what interventions, OD interventions. And now what is the goal of this OD? So the goal of OD, organization development, is to create adaptive organizations capable of transforming and reinvesting themselves to remain effective. So we want our organization to remain effective. That is why we have introduced here OD techniques. Okay, so OD, old interventions, are planned sets of actions to change the culture of the organization, where we move from where it is to where organization members want it to be. Means you are where and where you want to be. So this is what this difference we can see and we can perform here through these OD techniques. Now we will see the need for OD interventions. What is the need for OD interventions? So there are 4 conditions that give rise to this OD intervention. Number 1 is the problem. For example, organization has a problem and we realize now at some point our manager, our top management realize that there is some problem, there is something wrong in the organization. So through this OD intervention techniques, corrective actions are implemented to fix the problem. Second point, or we can say the second condition, is opportunity. So organization sees an unrealized opportunity, something it wants, it's beyond its reach. So what we will do, again through this OD intervention techniques, we can enable actions that are developed to seize this opportunity, to get this opportunity through the OD intervention. Next condition, we are going to understand that what is the need of this OD intervention is synchronization. Maybe the features of the organization are not in the sync now, they are out of alignment. So here we will implement the alignment activities to get things back in that synchronization. And the fourth condition that give rise to the need for OD intervention is vision. So maybe company has yesterday's vision was not longer good enough. So again we will set a vision where we will see the company good future, and we will develop here a new vision which will become a reality through this new through the OD interventions. Now I am going to discuss some steps for OD interventions. So we'll start with the first step, that is eliminating hierarchical decision making. Means the responsibilities of decision making should shift from manager to all the employees. So it is not responsibility of only one person. So it is a responsibility of everyone who is working in the organization, where they can take this responsibility, work towards it as a decision maker. So in healthy organization, manager understands that decision making should occur where the sources of information are. And who are the sources of information? Our employees are the sources of information, and which is not always toward the top of the chain of command, right? So it is not always the top management who are the sources of information. It is our employees. So we can say that we can implement the change here with the decision of our employees, involving our employees here. The next step for OD intervention is focusing on groups, because team make up an organization. So in an organization, employees are working in a team. So not just individuals. Change must primarily occur in groups in order to make a difference in the culture. The groups within an organization must have a clear understanding about its purpose, mission, and goals. Third step is building trust. So managers cannot expect employees to trust them automatically. So instead, managers must first show employees that they are trusted. So companies should have a mutual trust here, where managers or top management show their trust to employees, so that employee can show their trust to the organization. Next step for OD intervention is reducing unnecessary competition. That we have many competitions in the organization. Some competition is healthy, yes, while some competition is healthy, but it is not always necessary to create change. Instead of creating an environment focused on competition to help motivate employees, a company should focus on creating a culture that brings the collaboration. So, collaboration over the competition is always a good technique, or we can say a good step. So, collaboration can help improve a teamwork and communication, and employees feel their contributions are important. Next is investing in employees. Yes, this is very true that when a company invests in its employees, employee will invest their time and their talent back into the company. They will put their entire effort to the company. So organizations should also work toward developing the skills of their employees, giving them education opportunities, providing employee benefits, providing support and tool need to accomplish their work very efficiently. So these all are the steps for OD intervention.